Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Daniela Moya, and welcome to the unit number 3 of Pre-Intermediate. Okay, so let's start. Unit number 3, Good News and Bad News. Grammar, narrative tenses, vocabulary, adverbs, everyday English, saying when, reading a spy story, listening James Bond, The Man with the Golden Gun, and writing picture stories, narrative rating. Okay, let's start. Right here, we have three questions. Who are these people, guys? Who do you think are these people? Number two, think of as many reasons as possible. Why are they taking photographs, guys? Think about it. And number three, which of the reasons are good news stories and which are bad news? Come on, guys. Okay, now let's start on the page number 30. Come on. Okay, here we go. Grammar, narrative tenses, past simple and the past continuous. Okay, first, what is the past simple of these verbs? Which are regular and which are irregular? Okay, first, guys, I want you to identify this vocabulary. Please say the vocabulary 3 times in English, one in Spanish. Example: clean, 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 limpiar. Hope, 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 esperar. Okay? Practice saying them out loud to the class. Then let's listen and check.
3.1 Regular verbs.
Clean, cleaned. Die, died. Hope, hoped. Pass, passed. Stay, stayed. Try, tried. Want, wanted.
Irregular verbs.
Become, became, feed, fed, feel, felt, find, found, give, gave, go, went, grow, grew, hear, heard, take, took.
Okay, and if you want to check more, you can go to the page 158. And here we have the irregular verbs. Can you see it? The base form, the past simple, and the past participle. So you can check also this page. Let's continue. Now, a good news story. Look at the photos, title, and map. Why is this a good news story? Okay, so now let's look at the photos. Okay, right here. You can see it. Now, let's read the article very quickly. Come on, read the article and try to find the missing birds. Okay? So, who is Joe Pereira de Souza? Who is Dindim? Where did Joel find Dindim? Where does Dimdim swim to every year? Now, number 3, read and complete the article with the 10 verbs from the starter in past simple. Okay, so we can listen it or we can go to the page 131 so we can check is the audio. Let's see. 3.1. So let's look for the audio 3.1 on page 131. Okay, so here we have regular verbs. Okay, the audio 3.2.
3.2. Penguin swims 5,000 miles every year to visit the man who saved his life. Joao says,
I love the penguin like he's my own child, and I believe the penguin loves me.
Joao Pereira de Souza, 71, lives on an island near Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is a retired bricklayer, but still works as a part-time fisherman. One day, about 5 years ago, when he was fishing, he found a tiny sick penguin on the beach near his home. The penguin's feathers were covered in oil. The poor bird was dying. Joao felt sorry for the sick little bird, and so he took him back to his home. He cleaned him and fed him sardines, and he gave him the name Dindim. The penguin soon became strong and healthy again. After a week or two, Joao went down to the seashore and tried to put Dimdim back into the water. The penguin didn't want to go. He stayed with Joao, getting bigger and bigger. Beautiful new feathers grew on his back. 8 months passed. Joao was very happy because he was enjoying the company of his new friend. Then, suddenly, one day in February, Dindim disappeared. Joao was sad to lose him, but hoped that the bird just wanted to return to his penguin family. 4 more months passed. Joao was walking sadly home from the beach when suddenly he heard a familiar honking sound. Dindim was back. So it was, and so it is. Every year since then, Dindim spends 8 months with Joao and then disappears for 4 months. Where does he go? It is thought that he swims 2,500 miles to the coast of Argentina or Chile to start a penguin family, and then swims 2,500 miles back to Joao. That's 5,000 miles a year to be with the man who saved his life.
Okay, so here is another picture of Joao and Dindim. Okay, so now let's continue. Okay, after we finished this article, let's go to the part number 4. These lines are from the text. Read it again and work with a partner to decide where they go. What is the tense of the verbs involved? And here can we see them. Okay, here we can see them. The poor bird was dying. Okay, because he was enjoying the company of his new friend. When he was fishing, Joao was walking sadly home from the beach. Okay, so try to identify them. After that, let's continue on the number 5. Make the questions. Then ask and answer them with your partner. Example. Okay, we can write it here. So, number 1. This is just an example. What was Joao doing when he found it? Okay, and answer to these questions. Oh, actually, this is the number 2 because the number 1 is right here. So let's complete with the missing word and answer the question. What was he doing when he found it? Okay, come on, answer to this question and also answer the 8 of them. Then you can go to page 131 and look at the questions and check your answers. Okay, so here we can find the questions. Okay, so we can find them on page 131. Question: what did Joao find? A tiny sick penguin. Okay, so please check that. And remember, write these questions with the corresponding answers on your notebook, please. Okay, let's continue. Now, after this, let's go to the next page, page 31. Okay, now we have here a grammar spot. The past simple expresses a complete action in the past. Example: 5 years ago, Joel found a sick penguin on the beach. He cleaned him and fed him sardines. Okay, so that is the definition of the past simple. Now, on the number 2, complete the question and negative. Where he take the penguin? The penguin want to go. Okay, so please complete that with the missing words. Now, on the number 3, the past continuous expresses an activity in progress in the past. He was fishing when he found the penguin. Compare the sentences, guys. I had a bath last night. This is a complete action. I was having a bath when my phone rang. This is an interrupted action in the past. Okay, and if we want to learn a little bit more, let's go to the page 144. The grammar reference is the 3.1 to 3.3. Okay, so let's go and check. Page 144. Here we have 3.1 is the past simple, the positive, negative, questions, and short answers. 3.2 is the past continuous, positive, negative, question, short answers. And the 3.3 past simple versus the past continuous. Okay? So now let's go back. Spelling. Write the past simple of these regular verbs. Then answer the questions. Okay, so let's put the pasts of these verbs, guys. Work, stay, want, try, study, arrive, live, hope, stop, plan. How is the regular past tense formed? Number 2, how is the past tense formed when the verbs end in a consonant plus a Y? When do we double the final consonant? Think of more examples. Okay. Pronunciation. Say the past of these irregular verbs to a partner. How do you pronounce the ed ending? Write them on the correct line. We have T, locked, stayed, visited. Okay, we have the sound with T, with D, and with ID. Let's listen to this audio so you can listen to the correct pronunciation.
3.4 Pronunciation. Past simple. T, d, id. T,
Looked, worked, past, hoped,
d,
stayed, cleaned, played, phoned, answered, enjoyed,
id.
visited, wanted.
Okay, now on the number 8, look at the pronunciation of was and were. Listen and practice the sentences. Come on.
3.5 Pronunciation of was and were. 1,
He was walking home.
What was he doing?
2,
They were playing football.
What were they doing?
3,
He wasn't listening.
They weren't enjoying the party.
Okay, so can you listen to that pronunciation? So please practice it. Remember, do not go to the next page if you're not done with this one. Okay, so come on, let's continue. Now, on the page 32, let's practice with discussing grammar. What's the difference between this pair of sentences? Number 1. When we arrived, she was making coffee. When we arrived, she made coffee. What were you doing when you saw the accident? What did you do when you saw the accident? What is the difference, guys? Now, on the number 2, let's choose the correct verb form. I saw or I was seeing a good film yesterday. So please choose the correct one. On the number 3, talking about you, truth or lies? In this part, guys, this is a good dynamic. This is a great game. So, write 2 sentences about where you were and what were you doing at these times. Write one that is a lie, okay? And one that is the truth, and tell a partner. And he's going to try to guess which one is the truth and which one is the lie. Okay, so come on, let's do it, guys. Then, when you finish with that, in your own words, work in small groups. Look at these news headlines. What do you think the articles are about? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the audio 3.6, let's listen to two people talking about two of these articles. Which two are they talking about? What happened? Tell the story in your own words. Okay, so is the audio 3.6. Let's see if we can find it. If we can find it in the page 131. Okay, so yes, we have it right here. Audio 3.6. Talking about the news. Okay, so I want you to please read this article, and it continues up here. So please read it, and after that, answer the questions on the page 32. Okay? Now, in your group, choose one of the other headings and make up a story about what happened. And then let's tell it to the rest of the class. They can ask you about it. For example, whose party was it? What were the boys' parents doing? Who bought the vase? Okay, come on. Now, on the page 33, good news or bad news? Okay, now let's read the two stories very quickly. Come on. And then let's work with a partner. Now, let's work in two teams. Student A is going to read about Alistair and Johnny Brownlee. Complete your text with these verbs in the past simple. We have a go, fall, fail, run, see, put, and think. Now, the student B is going to read about Nate Williams. Complete your text with these verbs in the past simple. Buy, fall, fill, find, tell, see, and write. Okay, so complete it right here on the spaces. Now go through your article again with your partner and discuss your answers. What regular past simple verbs can you find in both articles? Let's underline them. Okay. Number 10. These lines come from the article. Which article? Where exactly do they go? And after that, let's listen and check.
3.7. Good news or bad news? 1. Brotherly love. He did it for Mum.
Brothers Alistair and Johnny Brownlee were just 6 and 8 years old when they began doing triathlons. 2 years ago, they went to London to compete in the Triathlon World Series. It was a hot day, but the boys were doing well. They were nearing the finishing line, Alistair was running behind his younger brother. He thought to himself, "This is perfect. Johnny's going to win, and I'm going to come second or third." Suddenly, with only 700 meters to go, Alistair saw that Johnny was in trouble. He wasn't running, he was finding it difficult to walk, and he couldn't breathe. Alistair ran up to his brother. He put his arm round him and started to run with him to the finishing line. Their worried parents, Keith and Kathy, were at home in Yorkshire. They were watching the race on TV when Alistair finally pushed his brother over the line and Johnny fell to the ground. Fortunately, Johnny was soon well and running again. Their parents were very proud of both their sons.
2. Sorry, Nate. Not until payday.
Nate Williams, 10, was shopping with his mum Tracy in an Asda supermarket in Liverpool when he spotted a huge toy panda. It cost £15. Nate immediately fell in love with it. He picked it up and carried it while they were doing their shopping. But at the checkout, when she was paying, his mum told her sad little boy that she couldn't afford the panda until her next payday. Nate didn't want to say goodbye to his new friend, Pandy, so he found a cardboard box and wrote a message on it for other shoppers to read. It said, "My mum didn't have enough money to buy me Pandy today, so she's buying me Pandy on the 15th of June. So please don't buy him, as it will make me cry. Thank you so much, from hopeful future owner." Workers noticed Nate's message. They felt sorry for the boy, and so they got together and bought the toy for him. They posted a message on Facebook to try and find him. Tracy saw the post and they returned to the shop to get Andy. She couldn't believe how kind the staff were. She said, "When we were leaving the shop, Nate turned to me and said that it was the best day of his life."
Okay, guys, so please complete your text. Okay, now let's make some questions about your story. Ask and answer them with a partner. And include WH questions like what, when, where, who, why, how old, or how much, or maybe how many. Okay? Now, for your project, guys and girls, let's find a news story that interests you. Do some research, and in the for your final project, okay, you can record a video with all your research and be prepared to answer some questions, because I'm going to ask you some questions about uh, your story. Okay, so please find a story, record a video of you talking about this story, and then I will ask you some questions. Okay, come on. Now let's continue.